Hello everyone, welcome to Another Day in the Car. I'm Jules, and this video is about Barry Morphew's appearance in court today. Before we get started, I'd like to ask you all to subscribe if you haven't already done so, like and share my videos, and as always, please comment. Now let's get going. Barry was in the courtroom. He was seated off to the let's see, I was looking at it on Webex, he was on the left side, but he was to the right of the defense table. And many times he either stared at the camera or at the judge. I also noticed that several times he was looking off to the side, and I'm not sure whether his daughters were there or what he was looking at off in that direction. I do believe I saw his mother on his side of the courtroom, and there was a brunette type woman. Maybe her hair might have been a little bit reddish, and I have no idea what her identity is. Anyway, most of the time in there, the defense attorneys were talking a lot and asking for things. I guess they made motions, and most of the stuff they were asking for is stuff that they'd get anyway under law. So they, in my opinion, were wasting a lot of time. They did mention wanting to get Barry released, and they complained that the discovery hadn't been given to them, and it's supposed to be given in within 21 days, but the prosecution and the judge agreed that 21 days was supposed to start today, and they have agreed to get the discovery to them by Wednesday next week because of the holiday. And the defense kept bringing up Kyle's v. Whitley, which is about evidence and stuff, and essentially they were wanting copies of photographs and surveillance reports and stuff the consultant said or whatever, which is all stuff that they would get anyway. And they said they needed to be notified if testing of evidence was going to cause the evidence to not be available to the defense to test as well. And they wanted preservation of biological evidence. And basically those are all things that are also law, so they didn't really need to put that into motions because it's something that would have been done anyway. And they wanted copies of tapes and notes that didn't make it into police reports, and I believe they were granted that as well because that's all evidence, and they're not going to be keeping evidence from them. And they didn't make a ruling yet on the affidavit, so I don't know when that's getting released at the moment, but I'll get back to you on that. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about Barry. Several times he was looking chill, legs splayed out and everything, looking like he didn't have a care in the world. And at other points, he got himself into a protective position. He was kind of caved in on himself, his ankles were crossed, and he had his hands cupped over his privates. And that's classic body defensive there. And other things that they asked for that I was interested in was that they wanted information about any immunity offers given to witnesses, any pleas that were granted to witnesses, plea bargains, and any payments made to witnesses, and that was granted. They wanted information about prior psychological conditions of witnesses, and that was a no-go for sure. That's invasion of privacy, etc. Barry got an itchy face several times also, and scratching on the side of his nose with his mask on. Also, at one point, the defense attorneys seemed to diss the Salida community because they offered to buy the sheriff's office recording devices so that they could record notes or something like that. And of course, the prosecution said, of course, they do have that themselves, and so that wouldn't be necessary. And then the prosecution also made a swipe at the defense, though, when they made a comment about how they wanted to try to help the defense understand about when the 21 days took place, because the defense was saying that 21 days from the 6th, within those 21 days, that they needed the, what was that called? They said that 21 days from the 6th, they needed to have discovery produced to them, and that they have not been given even one page of discovery. And prosecution said they wanted to help them understand, but that they were interpreting the law incorrectly, that today was the beginning of the 21 days, and the judge agreed with them, and that is how come the discovery is going to be provided to the defense on Wednesday, which discovery is different from the affidavit. Discovery is the stuff that, I guess, outlines all the evidence, etc. The affidavit is just the evidence that was used to determine that Barry should be arrested and charged. Barry's next court date, which would be the proof evident presumption of guilt hearing, was scheduled, and the defense requested that the preliminary hearing take place at the same time. So all those are taking place on Monday, August 9th and August 10th at 8 o'clock in the morning. And they also slated August 23rd and 24th at 9:30 a.m. in case it runs over, like if a whole lot of chit-chat goes on with any of the attorneys. And bond will not be decided for Barry until that time, so he's going to be held without bond until August at least, and then we'll find out more at that time. And once I learn about the affidavit, I'll let you guys know, and I'll read that thing for you. That's it for today's video on the trial. I'll see you in the next video. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching Another Day in the Car with Julez. See you in the next one.